Hi, welcome to Create and Kind of Video!
Hello and welcome to this month's Creating Kindness Design Team project. I'm Jenny Hall. Be sure not to miss the next person on this video hop by clicking the link in the top line of this video description right below the screen. Today I'm going to create a rustic theme card, as all of the members in our design team are, and I thought it would be really fun to do a coloring project with Peaceful Place stamp set. This is a really nice stamp set because it's very big and it takes up an entire space on the card. And let's get another look on how to use it without having any hassle of worrying about tedious watercoloring. So this is going to be a very loose watercolored image. I'm using my Stamparatus to its best benefit for this project. I did place the silicone craft mat underneath my watercolor paper, but I will have taken it out because I felt like I didn't need it. So how I will start out is, the concept is I'm going to trap some colors of marker underneath clear embossing. So I can use different markers in different places by first placing my paper and the stamp in the Stamparatus. This is a soft seafoam green and it is very light green color. I'm going to use many different colors that are going to give a basic design. So there's so many different ways to do watercoloring on a paper craft project. This is just one of the very easy ways that I have found that is able to give people more success. When the pressure is put on to make your paintbrush do something that you're not comfortable with, then I personally find that I start getting my shoulders get tight and I'm very on edge. So one way that I find to just completely take all of that away and not need to fret about it is to know that I've got a plan. So the plan for this particular project is I'm going to do watercoloring, but I'm going to use embossing. So by adding some color to my watercolor paper, and you can see here that I'm ending up with a top layer of stamped off gray, then it's going to give me some colors that can't go anywhere because they're trapped underneath clear embossing. So I'm thoroughly cleaning off my stamp and drying it with a cloth so that I can add the embossing. The embossing buddy is applied after I'm sure that the ink is dry, and then I'm going to add a generous amount of Versamark. Because I'm stamping this on watercolor paper, then it can maybe resist it a little bit. But then again, on this type of technique, it's okay if it doesn't make a complete contact with all of the image of the paper because it's very loosely watercolored. So I'm now setting that clear embossing powder, and I've sped up the video because it's quite long already, and this is going to help you see the coloring. So I started off by coloring the green areas of the trees and the different landscape backgrounds with a light green. Pear Pizzazz is a medium light colored yellow green that is easy to be able to go over it with what I'm using now of garden green to bring some more shading and low lights, and that creates dimension in my image. The garden green can be diluted a little bit and mixed around, as I've done here. I've mixed it in, and I am not giving too much pressure to the water brush. I'm giving just enough to where I know that the friction of the bristles against the paper will allow that water to flow out with the color. So I've used Sahara Sand on all of the wood and sand areas a light coating of Pool Party on the water, and then Bermuda Bay to go into what would be the darker areas that I would shade for the water. Gray Granite is the gray that I was using to do the overstamp, and it's really great to add in and tie that to one of the images. For the background around the stamped image, I'm using the wet on wet technique with Balmy Blue. Wet on wet means that first the paper is wet with just regular water from the brush, clean water, and then I will go and add more color on top of that, and the water accepts the color and sends it out and disperses it. And this will give me a really light look that I don't have to worry is going to leave any brush strokes. The water will do the work for me to give me a natural look. And that's called the wet on wet technique. If you are affluent with watercoloring, then you must already know this little trick and how well just using something very simple like that can help bring success to a project, especially if it's something that you're just starting out with. I thought it would be nice to use Crumb Cake for my card base and for the layer that the watercolor paper is sitting against, because Crumb Cake has so many of those natural looking fibers in its cardstock makeup, and this project is all about just relaxing and looking at this very peaceful scene. So I thought it would be another nice touch to add some linen thread, and I've secured it onto the back of the panel here, and I will secure that down to the card with some Stampin' dimensionals. I also have some of these wonderful little trinkets here that I wasn't sure how to use on any project so far. However, I thought it would be perfect for this type of scene. There is no sentiment on the front of this card. I do see that I can add a sentiment. I just wasn't willing to cover up any of the scene, to be frank. I really like this really pretty calm scene, and I thought it would be nice to let it do its job and just put the sentiment on the inside of the card. So after I added the trinket with some mini glue dots, then I tied a bow and added the tied bow there. The sentiment here on the inside of the card really does take its place, and I feel very comfortable with having it on the inside. And that little fussy cut leaf that I created is going to lay right against the sentiment on the inside of the card. Very easy. This card tutorial was a little bit lengthy, but thank you for sticking with me all the way through it. And I really hope that you like this project. If you need any help with attempting this technique, then please reach out to me. You can leave me a comment, or you can contact me through my blog, jennyhalldesign.com. Thank you so much for watching my video today. I would appreciate if you would subscribe to my channel and click the like button, and be sure not to miss the next video in this video hop. We're all creating with the same theme. Thanks again for joining me. I'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching the video. Have a good day.